My name is Olver, and for the past 5 years, I've dedicated my life to exploring the unknown, pushing the boundaries of scientific understanding, and venturing into the darkest corners of the world. My background is in virology and epidemiology, but my true passion lies in uncovering the truth, no matter how terrifying or unsettling it may be. This pursuit led me to a discovery that changed everything, a discovery that now puts my life in danger. It began with a rumor, a whisper in the back rooms of scientific conferences, a hushed conversation overheard in a dimly lit bar, a legend dismissed by most as folklore of a hidden city nestled deep within the Appalachian Mountains, a city untouched by time, a city where the veil between worlds is thin, a city shrouded in mystery and terror. The rumor spoke of a zombie virus, a virus unlike any other, one that defied scientific understanding, one that held the key to unlocking humanity's darkest nightmares. It was a virus said to have originated in this hidden city, a virus responsible for a catastrophic outbreak that had reshaped the world, a virus that had remained hidden from humanity for centuries. This legend sparked my intense curiosity. My research led me to the fringes of society. Conspiracy theorists, fringe scientists, and individuals with first-hand accounts of unusual events in the Appalachian wilderness. I pieced together a fragmented map, a cryptic collection of clues that pointed towards the hidden city's location. The map was incomplete, however, and my journey would be more challenging than I anticipated. Armed with my scientific knowledge, my adventurous spirit, and a healthy dose of skepticism, I ventured into the Appalachian wilderness. The journey was grueling, fraught with perilous terrain, and encounters with wild animals that made my life far more complicated. I followed the clues, pushing deeper into the unexplored regions, where the veil between reality and legend began to blur. The journey began in the backcountry, traveling through rugged mountains and dense forests. I discovered a hidden trail, unmarked and overgrown, a trail that seemed to lead towards a forgotten world. The trail was eerie, surrounded by an unsettling atmosphere and ominous signs. I felt the weight of the unknown, the potential dangers lurking just beyond the bend. The journey itself felt like an intrusion, a trespass into a realm that did not want to be discovered. My apprehension grew significantly. Finally, after days of relentless travel, I found it, a hidden city, shrouded in mist and mystery, a city frozen in time, a city where the past and the present collided. But this city wasn't deserted. It was inhabited, and not by the living. The hidden city, which I later learned was called Ethelred, was a chilling paradox, a testament to both human ingenuity and the terrifying power of nature. Its architecture was a bizarre blend of medieval design and futuristic technology, a testament to a civilization that had somehow mastered both ancient and advanced knowledge. The city was simultaneously beautiful and horrifying, a landscape that evoked both wonder and terror. The city's inhabitants were not the living. They were the undead, animated by a virus that defied scientific understanding, a virus that had transformed them into something both grotesque and terrifying. These were not the slow, shambling zombies of popular culture. They were swift, intelligent, and capable of coordinated attacks. Their appearance, however, was far more terrifying and unsettling than that of other types of zombies. My initial exploration of Ethelred was a harrowing mix of scientific curiosity and primal fear. I documented the city's architecture, its technology, and its inhabitants. I collected samples of the virus, attempting to understand its origins and its mechanisms. My scientific background provided a unique perspective during this perilous exploration. I discovered that the city's advanced technology was inextricably linked to the virus. The technology itself seemed to be a response to the outbreak, a desperate attempt by the city's inhabitants to contain and control the infection. The technology's creation, however, seemed to amplify the effects of the virus. My main antagonist in this narrative became a shadowy organization known only as the Syndicate that seemed to be aware of Ethelred and its secrets. They were a powerful, well-funded entity that operated in the shadows, manipulating events and controlling information. Their motives remained unclear, but their actions suggested a deep interest in maintaining Ethelred's secrecy and controlling the virus. The organization's involvement suggested that the zombie virus was more than a natural occurrence. The Syndicate's agents were ruthless and highly trained, adept at infiltration, deception, and violence. They were willing to do whatever it took to protect their interests, even resorting to murder and intimidation. The Syndicate's actions created a sense of urgency and heightened the risk involved. Then there was Dr. Eris Thorne, a brilliant but morally ambiguous scientist who had been studying the virus for years and who had a connection to the Syndicate. Thorne had access to information that I needed, information that could help me understand the virus and potentially find a cure. However, Thorne's motivations were questionable, his loyalty to the Syndicate a constant threat. This complex relationship became critical as the story progressed. My initial exploration of Ethelred yielded valuable insights into the nature of the zombie virus. I discovered that it was not a simple pathogen. It was a complex, engineered bioweapon, far more sophisticated than anything I had ever encountered. The virus's genetic structure contained elements that defied known biological processes. Its design was highly advanced, far surpassing anything I had seen before. This suggested that it wasn't a naturally occurring virus. The advanced technology within the city was designed to both contain and control the virus, suggesting a desperate attempt by the city's inhabitants to manage the outbreak. This technology, however, appeared to be intrinsically linked to the virus's properties and seemed to enhance its effects. The technology was designed to enhance rather than control the virus. My research attracted the attention of the Syndicate. Their agents began to infiltrate Ethelred, their presence adding another layer of danger to an already precarious situation. The agents were highly trained, their movements silent and precise, their tactics brutal and effective. Their presence added another layer of danger to the situation. The conflict intensified as I discovered that Dr. Eris Thorne, the brilliant but morally ambiguous scientist, was not only studying the virus, but was also actively working for the Syndicate. He acted as a conduit between the organization and the hidden city. Thorne had been manipulating events, withholding crucial information, and attempting to control my research for his own ends. Thorne's involvement added another layer to the complexity of the situation. I attempted to contact Thorne to acquire crucial information, hoping to collaborate on understanding the virus and potentially finding a cure. However, Thorne refused to cooperate. He seemed unwilling to share his findings, and he used his network of contacts to obstruct my research and attempt to discredit my work. Thorne's motives were ambiguous, but his loyalty to the organization was clear. The conflict extended beyond the scientific arena. The Syndicate's agents engaged in a series of attacks, aiming to eliminate me and destroy my research. These were not random attacks. They were calculated attempts to silence me, to prevent me from revealing Ethelred's secrets and the truth about the virus. Their actions were ruthless and efficient. The conflict extended to acts of terrorism, including kidnapping and attempted murder. As I worked to uncover the virus's origins, I uncovered a disturbing truth. The outbreak wasn't a random event. It was a carefully planned operation by the Syndicate. Their motive was to use the virus as a tool to gain power, to control the world. The virus was not a random event. It was a carefully orchestrated plot designed to achieve world domination. The threat to my life intensified with every passing day, forcing me to develop new strategies and seek unexpected alliances to survive and uncover the truth. The conflict escalated from scientific debates to deadly confrontations. As the conflict with the Syndicate intensified, a subplot emerged involving a small group of survivors within Ethelred. These were not the mindless undead. They were individuals who had somehow developed immunity to the virus, or perhaps a unique resistance to its effects. They lived in the shadows, avoiding both the infected and the Syndicate's agents. This group of survivors became important to my efforts to uncover the virus's origin and develop a cure. These survivors possessed unique knowledge of the city's history and the virus's origins. Their understanding of Ethelred's technology, their insights into the Syndicate's activities, and their first-hand accounts of the virus's effects provided valuable information and proved to be an unexpected source of support. These survivors became crucial to my efforts to uncover the truth. Another subplot centered on Dr. Eris Thorne's complicated past. He wasn't simply a scientist working for the Syndicate. He was a key figure in the virus's creation, a fact that added another layer of moral ambiguity to his already questionable character. Thorne's motivations, therefore, were complex and intertwined with the development of the virus itself. Thorne's involvement in the virus's creation was not altruistic. He had been driven by a desire for power, believing that the virus could usher in a new era of human evolution, a new world order controlled by those who possess the ability to resist its effects. His actions, therefore, were not simply those of a scientist working for an organization. They were deeply personal, fueled by an arrogant belief in his own superiority. His actions also revealed a dark side that was not immediately apparent. The complexity of the situation was further amplified by the presence of a powerful rival scientist working independently to understand the virus. This rival, Dr. Evelyn Reed, possessed knowledge that complemented and sometimes contradicted my own findings. Reed's research presented both opportunities and threats. Collaboration was tempting but risky. Competition was dangerous but necessary. Reed's rivalry with Thorne extended beyond scientific competition. It was a personal conflict, a battle for control of the virus and its potential applications. This rivalry added another layer of tension to the storyline. The threat to my life intensified. The situation grew more dangerous with each passing day. The consequences were potentially catastrophic. Time was running out. The Syndicate's activities were escalating, their control over Ethelred tightening. My research, my very life, was in danger. The survival of humanity, I feared, might depend on my ability to expose the truth and to find a way to stop the Syndicate before they unleashed a virus upon the world. The stakes were incredibly high. The turning point arrived during a clandestine meeting with Dr. Evelyn Reed. Reed, initially hesitant to cooperate, finally revealed crucial information about the Syndicate's plans. They were not merely interested in controlling the virus. They intended to weaponize it, unleashing a global pandemic to establish a new world order. This revelation changed everything. Reed's information revealed that the Syndicate wasn't simply a shadowy organization. It was a well-funded and highly organized group with deep connections to powerful individuals in government and industry. Their influence extended far beyond Ethelred and threatened to reshape the world. This revelation suggested a much larger and more pervasive threat. This information provided a crucial piece of the puzzle, linking the virus's development, the activities in Ethelred, and the Syndicate's larger agenda. It confirmed my suspicions about the virus's origins and the true nature of the Syndicate's goals. The conspiracy was far greater and more dangerous than I had initially thought. The turning point wasn't simply the acquisition of new information. It was a realization that the stakes were far higher than I had previously imagined. The threat was global, not just local. The consequences of the Syndicate's success were catastrophic. The survival of humanity was at stake. Armed with this new understanding, I formulated a new strategy. I had to act quickly. The Syndicate was preparing for a large-scale release of the virus. I needed to stop them, and I needed to do so before it was too late. This new understanding created a powerful sense of urgency. My approach changed. I shifted from focusing solely on understanding the virus to actively disrupting the Syndicate's plans. This required a risky and bold move. I needed to expose them publicly. This would involve significant personal risk. I decided to leak Reed's information to a trusted journalist, a courageous individual willing to risk their life to expose the truth. This was a high-stakes gamble. If I failed, the consequences could be devastating. This was a risky and bold plan that could have significant repercussions. This leak sparked a global media frenzy, attracting the attention of international organizations and governments, forcing the Syndicate to act decisively. The turning point was not simply the acquisition of information. It was a decision to act, to expose the Syndicate's plans, and to risk everything in a desperate attempt to save humanity. The consequences of inaction were too severe to contemplate. The leak of Dr. Reed's information triggered a chain reaction of events that escalated the conflict to an unprecedented level. The global media frenzy exposed the syndicate's existence and their plans to weaponize the zombie virus, creating widespread panic and fear. Governments around the world scrambled to respond, while the syndicate reacted with a mixture of fury and desperation. The immediate consequence was a massive increase in the syndicate's efforts to silence me and Dr. Reed. Their agents launched a series of coordinated attacks, aiming to eliminate us and destroy any remaining evidence of their conspiracy. These weren't simple attempts at intimidation. These were calculated assassinations. The consequences of exposing the conspiracy were far-reaching and extremely dangerous. Dr. Eris Thorne, feeling the pressure from the syndicate, attempted to regain control by using his network of contacts to discredit my research and that of Dr. Reed. He spread misinformation, sowed doubt, and attempted to manipulate public opinion, casting doubt on the veracity of our claims. Thorne's actions served to highlight the power and influence of the syndicate. Governments, caught off guard by the revelation and struggling to contain the ensuing chaos, reacted with a mix of caution and decisiveness. Some attempted to cooperate with me and Dr. Reed, while others remained skeptical or were actively working to undermine our efforts, either due to political maneuvering or outright corruption by the syndicate. The global response ranged from disbelief and inaction to attempts to control and neutralize the threat. The survivors in Ethelred, fearing for their lives and desperate to prevent the release of the virus, also acted. They used their knowledge of the city's technology to disrupt the syndicate's operations and to prevent the further spread of the virus. The survivors' actions, though desperate, proved to be extremely effective. The ensuing conflict was a global affair, a desperate race against time to contain the virus and expose the syndicate's network. I and Dr. Reed became key figures in this global struggle, working to expose the truth and to provide whatever assistance we could to prevent global catastrophe. Our collaboration became increasingly essential in coordinating the response. The survival of humanity rested on our collective actions. My life was now in constant danger. I was on the run, pursued by the syndicate's agents and hunted by those who remained skeptical or had been manipulated by the organization. The consequences of my actions had been far-reaching and deadly. The stakes had never been higher. The global manhunt for me and Dr. Reed forced us to rely on our skills, our knowledge, and our resilience. We were constantly on the move, evading capture, seeking refuge in unexpected places, and forging alliances with those who shared our commitment to exposing the syndicate and preventing a global catastrophe. This period involved incredible personal growth and strategic development. My scientific background became my greatest asset. I used my understanding of virology and epidemiology to anticipate the syndicate's strategies and to develop countermeasures. I used my understanding of virology and epidemiology to inform tactical and strategic decisions. Dr. Reed's expertise complemented mine. Her knowledge of ancient civilizations and their understanding of energy manipulation proved invaluable in developing strategies to disrupt the syndicate's operations. Her expertise in ancient civilizations provided a crucial counterpoint to my scientific skills. Our collaboration evolved into a deep and trusting partnership. We learned to rely on each other's strengths, to support each other's weaknesses. We challenged each other's assumptions, pushing each other to think critically and strategically. This reliance highlighted the importance of collaboration. We sought out unexpected alliances, hackers, journalists, and even disgruntled members of the syndicate, individuals who were willing to risk their lives to expose the truth. These alliances were essential in navigating the complex web of deceit and manipulation that characterized the syndicate's operations. The reliance on unexpected allies was crucial. The constant threat to our lives forced us to develop innovative and unconventional strategies. We used our intelligence and technological skills to outmaneuver the syndicate, utilizing cutting-edge technology to track their movements and disrupt their operations. Our methods involved using the latest technologies in innovative and effective ways. Our efforts took us across continents, from the bustling cities of Europe to the remote regions of South America. We developed new skills, enhancing our existing abilities. We became more resourceful, more resilient, and more determined. The global manhunt pushed us to our limits. This period of constant threat and relentless pursuit fostered a significant personal growth. It wasn't merely about surviving. It was about adapting, evolving, and becoming something more than we were before. We had grown from scientists and adventurers into strategic leaders, fighting for the survival of humanity. The experiences helped forge our collective resilience. The global manhunt had inadvertently revealed the Syndicate's intricate network of operatives, their funding sources, and their ultimate objective: to unleash a global pandemic to establish a new world order. This knowledge allowed us to formulate a plan to expose them and disrupt their operation permanently. Our efforts were no longer solely focused on survival. They were now aimed at a decisive victory. Our strategy involved a multi-pronged approach. We needed to simultaneously expose the Syndicate's network to the world, disrupt their operations at Ethelred, and neutralize their ability to weaponize the virus. The preparation involved coordination and strategy. First, we needed to secure irrefutable evidence of the Syndicate's activities. This involved infiltrating their secure facilities, accessing their encrypted communications, and obtaining concrete proof of their involvement in developing and weaponizing the virus. This task required advanced technological skills and meticulous planning. Second, we needed to alert key individuals within governments and international organizations who were willing to act against the Syndicate, individuals who weren't compromised by the organization's influence or corruption. This phase required careful selection and strategic communication. It was a delicate and critical aspect of the operation. Third, we needed to develop a strategy to disrupt the virus's release. This involved understanding the mechanisms of the virus's spread, its vulnerabilities, and the technological systems that the Syndicate was using to disseminate it. The solution required advanced scientific understanding and a comprehensive strategy. Dr. Reed's knowledge of ancient civilizations proved invaluable in identifying the vulnerabilities of the technology used in Ethelred. She discovered a specific frequency that could disrupt the energy field that powered the city systems and the virus's replication. Her expertise in ancient lore proved critical. The preparation involved assembling a team of experts, hackers, virologists, and intelligence operatives, individuals who possessed the skills and the courage to assist us in this global battle. This required trust, coordination, and careful planning. The team was assembled for a highly specific and dangerous mission. The final phase of preparation involved securing the necessary equipment and resources, high-tech gadgets, encrypted communication systems, and countermeasures to protect ourselves from the Syndicate's agents. This required careful planning and coordination among different agencies and organizations. Securing the necessary resources proved to be challenging but ultimately successful. The climax was imminent. The Syndicate's plan was about to be executed, and the fate of the world hung in the balance. The preparation was complete. The climax unfolded simultaneously on multiple fronts. While our team launched a coordinated cyber attack to disrupt the Syndicate's global communication network and expose their operations to the world, I, along with a small team of specialists, infiltrated Ethelred. Our objective was twofold: to neutralize the virus and obtain irrefutable evidence of the Syndicate's crimes. The operation involved multiple coordinated efforts. The cyber attack, spearheaded by a brilliant but enigmatic hacker known only as Ghost, overwhelmed the Syndicate security systems, releasing a torrent of incriminating evidence to the global media. The evidence irrefutably linked the organization to the creation and weaponization of the virus, exposing their conspiracy to the world. This exposed the organization's criminal activity and highlighted their dangerous intentions. Meanwhile, within Ethelred, we faced a desperate race against time. The Syndicate's agents were already aware of our infiltration, and they were relentless in their pursuit. We navigated the city's labyrinthine streets, evading both the infected and the Syndicate's highly trained operatives. This required careful planning, coordination, and a deep understanding of the city's layout. Our team used Dr. Reed's discovery to neutralize the virus, deploying a device that emitted the specific frequency needed to disrupt the energy field powering the virus's replication. This created a chain reaction that disabled the city's technological systems and neutralized the virus, rendering the infected harmless. This action highlighted the importance of Reed's contributions. The confrontation with Dr. Eris Thorne was both inevitable and brutal. Thorne, realizing his plans had been foiled, engaged in a desperate attempt to escape, using his scientific knowledge and the Syndicate's resources to attempt to maintain control. This confrontation highlighted the complexities of the Doctor's actions and motives. The final confrontation was a clash of scientific prowess and strategic brilliance. I used my knowledge of virology and epidemiology to counter Thorne's tactics, exploiting the vulnerabilities in his methods, ultimately leading to his capture. The confrontation served as a testament to my intellectual and strategic abilities. The simultaneous success of the cyber attack and the neutralization of the virus in Ethelred brought the Syndicate's operations to a grinding halt, exposing their global network and preventing the impending pandemic. The coordinated efforts culminated in a decisive victory. This marked the culmination of a long and dangerous journey. The climax was not simply a battle. It was a strategic victory, a triumph of knowledge, courage, and collaboration in the face of unimaginable odds. The fight for the survival of humanity had been won, but the consequences would reverberate for years to come. The aftermath of the climax was a period of global reckoning. The exposure of the Syndicate's conspiracy triggered widespread arrests, investigations, and legal proceedings. Governments around the world grappled with the implications of the thwarted pandemic and the organization's far-reaching influence. The world was forced to confront the reality of the conspiracy. Dr. Eris Thorne, along with many other key figures within the Syndicate, faced trial for their crimes against humanity. Their actions served as a stark warning about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the misuse of scientific knowledge. The trial became a symbol of justice and accountability. The neutralization of the virus in Ethelred brought a sense of relief, but the city itself remained a haunting reminder of the conspiracy's scale and the price of unchecked ambition. The city was deemed too dangerous to inhabit, and it was permanently sealed, its secrets guarded by the silence of the Appalachian Mountains. The city served as a permanent reminder of the catastrophic consequences of unchecked ambition. My own life had changed irrevocably. The global manhunt, the constant threat to my safety, and the weight of responsibility for preventing a global catastrophe had left their mark. I had grown, not just as a scientist and adventurer, but as a leader, a figure who had stood against overwhelming odds and emerged victorious. I had grown in profound ways. The surprising twist came with the discovery of a hidden message within the neutralized device in Ethelred. The message, decoded by Dr. Reed, was not a warning, but a plea for help. A cry from a civilization far older than our own, a civilization that had faced a similar threat and had developed the technology to contain it. The device, therefore, was not a weapon but a safeguard. This added a profound and unexpected layer to the conclusion. The conclusion of the story was not merely about the defeat of the Syndicate. It was about the interconnectedness of humanity, the shared responsibility to protect the world, and the importance of cooperation in the face of unimaginable threats. The ending highlighted the surprising nature of the technology, its purpose, and its implications. The world was safe, but the story's implications remained far-reaching. Years later, the world has moved on, but the memory of the Syndicate and their conspiracy lingers. Ethelred remains sealed, its secrets guarded. Dr. Reed and I continue our research, focusing on understanding the ancient technology found in the hidden city and its potential applications. The threat is gone, but the knowledge remains, a constant reminder of the fragility of our world and the importance of vigilance. The world had been saved, but at a great cost, and the lingering questions remained. That was my story, a race against time to stop a global pandemic and expose a terrifying conspiracy. What did you think of the surprising twist at the end? What are your theories about the ancient technology? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more true stories from the edge of reality. Click the link below to watch my next video. where I'll discuss the ethical implications of the technology discovered in Ethelred. It's a conversation you won't want to miss. Subscribe now.